Wagwan, my people, it's Amaziyah the Great again with more news information for you like you've never heard before. After a few months of COVID-19 pandemic globally, the Jamaican borders are finally opened up again. Yes, my friends, so go and go tell your friends and tell them to tell their friends plus them family them. Welcome all of our yard and tell all the tourists them for bring enough money to spend. But before we get into that matter, Minister Edmund Bartlett, please remind us how important tourism again.
This is very significant, as it is important for you to know that choosing a job in tourism is not only rewarding, but also allows you to contribute significantly to the growth of our country. This comes against the background of tourism being regarded as the fastest growing industry in the world, contributing a great deal to the economies. In fact, tourism accounts for 11% of global GDP, second only to finance and banking industry, which is 19%. Jamaica's tourism growth mirrors the growth globally. We are today the top foreign exchange earners in Jamaica, a major job creator, and a driving force for economic growth.
So now that you have learned in your mind, if you're still a bit concerned, I'm going to ask the Prime Minister, Honorable Holiness, aka Bro God, to inform us about the precaution in some simpler terms.
Non-national tourists will be subject to testing if they are assessed as high risk, either as a result of coming from countries designated as high risk for COVID-19 transmission based on classifications by the World Health Organization, or due to other risk factors such as exhibiting symptoms, exposure to persons, or coming from a high-risk group.
Hip hip hooray, I want to hear some people are say because Jamaica ports and some resorts reopened yesterday. Now international travels are fly come a yard from inside and outside the USA. Yo, me hear say airline tickets drop, so them really not delay.
Persons assessed as high risk would have their samples taken at the airport or other designated facility and await their test results at their hotel or resort under the stay-in zone measure. If the test is negative, they would remain under the stay-in zone measure. If the test is positive, however, they would be isolated, either at the hotel resort or in a government facility as determined by the health authorities.
Importantly, know this. I want to know for notice COVID-19 cases in Jamaica, the 600 plus. So please don't ignore this. Testing will be done on all visitors at the airport, so please support it.
Persons not assessed as high risk will be allowed to go to their hotel resorts under the stay-in zone measure. This means they are required for the duration of their stay in Jamaica to remain within the COVID-19 resilient corridor, a defined geographical area from Negril to Portland along the main road. Only hotels and resort cottages as defined in the Tourist Board Act and which are licensed under that act and then certified by the TPDCO will be allowed to open during the period June 15 to 30, 2020. The certified establishments are to adhere to the protocols as in the COVID-19 Ministry of Tourism and Health safety protocols for the Jamaican tourism sector for the year 2020.
All travelers to Jamaica must complete a travel authorization form in advance of their trip, and here are 6 simple steps to follow. Right about now, I'm going to tell you some places that already open and some that is due to be open. The Moon Palace Resorts in Ocho Rios, Sandals Montego Bay, Rio Ocho Rios, Holiday Inn Resorts Montego Bay, Beaches Negril, the Ibero Star Grand Rose Hall, Montego Bay have already welcomed guests back from June 15th. Several other resorts have targeted July 1 as their reopening date, including Couples Negril, Couples Towers Isle, Hilton Rose Hall Montego Bay, Couples Sansoshi, Couples Swept Away, Enodism 2, Azul Beach Resorts Negril. As of officially now, travelers coming to Jamaica can choose from American Airlines, Delta Airlines. America is flying daily between Miami and Montego Bay. Miami and Kingston, Charlotte and Montego Bay, and Dallas-Fort Worth and Montego Bay. Delta has daily flights between Atlanta and Montego Bay, and Monday and Tuesday flights between Atlanta and Kingston. JetBlue is resuming Montego Bay and Kingston flights from New York, JFK, and Fort Lauderdale in June, with 2 or 3 flights weekly, but plan to ramp up daily service in July and August. Saturday only. Flights from Boston to Mobay will resume in July as well, as will flights between Orlando and Montego Bay. JetBlue's Fort Lauderdale-Kingston service will restart with 3 weeks weekly flight in July and August. Southwest Airlines intend to resume service to Montego Bay from Baltimore Washington International Airport and Orlando on July 1st, and Spirit has plans to restart flying again to Montego Bay and Kingston from Fort Lauderdale the same day. United Airlines daily service from New York to Houston to Montego Bay will recommence on July 6th. Yeah man, that's a little bit of wagwan as it relates to flights. Now at the airport, employees return to work in a happy mood as they express their gratitude.
We stopped working 2 different times and then came back. So I'm feeling alright now. I am enjoying it because we are coming back together.
An airport employee said, "It wasn't a good feeling to be away from the airport. Now everybody is happy. The situation is not pretty, but we just have to work with it." Another airport employee responded. Minister of Tourism Honorable Edmund Bartlett says he's satisfied that the adequate system have put in place at the airport for the return of visitors to the island. Between 5,000 and 6,000 visitors are expected up to June 30th. We had a walkthrough of all areas of the airport through which the passengers will travel, with special emphasis on immigration and customs, before being tested for signs of the coronavirus prior to the departing the airport for all their respective vacation spots. I am confident that the logistics are in place to enable as seamless a process as is possible for the dawning of a new era in tourism. Okay. Let me just put this forward. So June 15, 2020 update on coronavirus. It was 621 confirmed cases in Jamaica, 430 recovered and 10 deaths. Now my people, talk to me. Do you think all of this is safe? As for me, I want this over and done with, you monsters who created this horrible disease. God is watching you. Alright, let me just behave myself. The tourism minister further quote, "Furnishing with the airport have been rearranged. While there is technology to capture the temperature of passengers and sanitization station installed to satisfy health requirements under COVID-19, our economy stands to lose more than 145 billion for the year if tourism is not reopened, 38 billion for public sector and 107 billion for the industry. If you were to think about it on a daily basis, that is 400 million per day. 350,000 workers are involved in the tourism sector. Those workers need work. They need income, and importantly, 93% of tourism workers we surveyed want or need to return to work." Bartlett also said workers across nearly every industry in Jamaica will benefit from the reopening of the sector, citing banks and insurance companies as important parts of the tourism ecosystem. It is based on these factors that we have decided to reopen our borders to tourism. However, we are committed to reopening in a safe and controlled manner to protect our most treasured asset, our people. So, there you have it, folks. Wishing you safe flights as you travel here to there. But as for me not gonna bother travel this year. And in the meantime, feel free to subscribe and share. Tell them precisely.